It's the 13th of February 2020, and this upload is a pretty general upload about a hypothetical situation for any individuals that might be experiencing anything similar to what I've discussed in my previous uploads. Basically, I'm very concerned about civil society principles, and I'm very concerned about people maintaining the peace, prioritizing peace, and basically minding their own affairs. Um, my concern in this upload is not so much that people are very critical, judgmental, and very busy and preoccupied with scrutiny, and even more so, not just those factors that are occurring, but about individuals that they don't have involvement with. Now, this issue that I'm referring to is basically highly intrusive, and it just makes me wonder what kind of mentality have individuals that what kind of a mentality would those kind of people have to be so disruptive in a person's livelihood and private life without respecting privacy. Um, as a person that has experienced inviolability of my dwellings and theft from my theft of my belongings, I'm very concerned about the mentality of these kind of people that have been highly intrusive and have been very disrespectful and have claimed falsehoods that have caused very serious harm. So this is just a general issue that I'm referring to, an issue that I can identify with, and an issue I'd like authorities to address as well, because for people that live on their own and that might feel a little bit vulnerable, or that might be victimized, and that might be, contending with issues that I've discussed in these uploads. I'm just wondering how are authorities addressing these matters with individuals causing these kind of problems. And I'm also wondering about how mental health practitioners are addressing these kind of false claims and these kind of intrusive mentalities of individuals that think they're in a position to control a community and in a position to decide the choices of an individual that they don't know or that they might know. This is basically all surrounding the matters of human rights violations that I have experienced as well. And I'm just wondering how authorities are addressing hate crime, because as I've mentioned in a previous upload, there's a specific page dedicated to the issue of hate crime, and I've been sharing about this matter since it's occurred, and I've also been contacting the relevant agencies since this was all caused, and I'm just wondering how this matter has been addressed, and I'm just wondering also how false claims by disruptive individuals are being entertained and being facilitated. And as I've mentioned before, mental health is a big priority for all of us to maintain at a healthy level. And I'm just wondering what kind of a mental health predicament are those people in to be causing this kind of a disruption for an individual that they have no business disrupting at all, and for an individual that they've already caused a lot of disruption for already. So are the authorities addressing these disruptions? Are the authorities addressing the false claims and falsehoods? Are the authorities addressing defamation? that's involved in hate crime and, trespassing and thefts of belongings, etc., etc. So, on behalf of all victims that are experiencing these kind of issues, I'd appreciate it if authorities would acknowledge how serious a situation is caused for individuals that live independently, be they elderly or be they young. People that think that just because a person's living on their own that they're going to just, you know, say what they want and do what they want, in accommodation that they mightn't even be, paying residents in that accommodation, and just coming and going and making claims and causing problems and disrupting the peace of people that just want to get on minding their own business. So this is just a little matter that, is relevant to all people, young or old, that are experiencing violations and victimization, etc., etc. So for the likes of the Victim Support Federation and for the groups like Victim Support and all of that and the authorities, I'm just wondering, with what they've mentioned as their advice and, their instructions really on how to cope with these kind of situations, I'm wondering what the authorities are actually doing to help the vulnerable in society with regards to hate crime, because it's very selective what people have been choosing to address, and it's quite selective of how the media are ignoring certain matters and addressing others, so some matters can't be swept under the carpet. Some matters are quite serious, especially when it comes to human rights. And when there's 29 rights in a declaration and when all of them have been violated, um, it's pretty serious to be just turning a blind eye. So that's my little upload for today. And basically, authorities have a bit of a responsibility to ensure that, falsehoods are substantiated by credible citizens and individuals, and local politicians and national politicians have a serious responsibility as well to address violations of civil liberties, not only adult civil liberties but children's liberties also. Children's rights matter as much as women's rights and human rights, and children even more so. So for today, that's my upload, and that's my concern for young people and old people living on their own and that are being victimized by individuals in society that think they are in control of other adults' decisions and other adults' privacy and livelihood. So for today, the 13th of February, I hope the authorities are taking these matters into consideration, because hate crime, as we've seen on the TV tonight, is pretty serious, pretty prevalent, and is a priority to be addressed in Tralee, County Kerry, and throughout Ireland.